On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going on track.
Oh yeah, we going way up. We are going way up. It is motherfucking Tuesday, you guys. Welcome to Hard Headed Comedy Presents Talk It Out Tuesday. It's been a good minute. I am very yellow. I want everyone to know I'm fully aware. I'm letting it go. I'm accepting what the universe has given to me. I have been fucking with this lighting for like 47 minutes. And you know what? I'm good. I'm alive. That's what matters. But I needed tonight, right? There's a lot happening. We're still in a pandemic. Things are starting to open up more and more. You know, we're having a lot of arguments, new arguments, like Potato Head. You know, we're not calling him Mr. anymore. Dr. Seuss has been on the chopping block. We want to cancel Eminem. What else? Free Britney. That's still a big thing. I'm hearing zombies might be here, and the CDC is handing out pamphlets so we all survive that. And, you know, Harry and Meghan sat down with Oprah. So I think a laugh is definitely fucking needed. I mean, holy shit, we're still in this. We're still so in it. I just wonder sometimes, like at night, I'm like, what's it going to be like when we don't have to wear masks? Like I am one of the ones, like I'm constantly wearing a mask when I'm outside the house. I just do it. Because I don't need to take a chance. Like, I'm good. You know what? If this is what I need to do, then this is what I'm going to do. Okay. It's that simple. You know, we're fighting over that too. People not wanting to wear masks. You know, I don't know. It's just one little rule. We follow other rules, right? And a lot of people have lost their lives to this. So I just feel like the facts are there. But, you know, we could talk about that for hours. Tonight we're having fun. Like I said, it is also National Women's Month. You know, we get a month. That's what we get. And yesterday was National Women's Day. But as all of us ladies know, National Women's Day is every day. It's every day. It's every day. And I'll say it to the day I die. The fact that as women, we can bleed for 7 to 9 days and not drop dead, that's a warrior, okay? Some of us can go 7 to 9 days bleeding. It's warrior. That's warrior power, okay? There you go. All right, you guys, it's time to welcome in all these fine ladies that I have for you tonight. So please put your hands together for Miss Carmen Naidu, Miss Rachel Green, and Miss Trina Alpha. Ladies, welcome to Talk It Out Tuesday.
What's going on?
How are we, ladies? Tell everyone how we are.
I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
I'm not surprised of the Meghan and Harry interview. I just want to say that, like, I've just been seeing all of that on my timeline. I'm like,
everywhere. It's everywhere.
I'm like, are we surprised though?
Thank you.
Thank
you. That's why I'm like,
Yeah, I felt very about it.
They created racism. They're the ones that created the colonial world that we live in.
hello, we came from there. They came from here. The Mayflower. I can't. Why are people stupid? I don't know.
It's a whole fucking thing. It's a whole thing. It was on I opened up the Apple News. It was on everything from People to Vote, everything, all of them. CNN, everyone covered it. And then, you know, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's like it's all over. It's all over. I don't know. Maybe some people are just grasping for any type of news than like bad news, you know?
Like, you get some racism. You get some racism. It's like, you know, come on.
Look, even them.
I mean, it's not shocking. It's not shocking in the big picture, but it is still a little bit horrifying to be like, I mean, listen, has anyone here watched The Crown?
Yeah.
So in this,
supposed to.
Yeah, I was supposed to.
Yeah, honestly,
and it was pretty on brand. When she was talking about it, I was like, that's pretty on brand. I watched The Crown. Meghan, you did not watch The Crown. If you
exactly.
did, you would have known what was up.
Exactly. It really sort of highlights in The Crown of like, your life is not your own. It is the institution. And so it's like, on the one hand, you're not shocked because you're like, of course they're racist. Hello. But then at the same time, you're like, yo, but would you really dog out your own child, your own brother? And it's like, yeah, they would. Did you watch The Crown?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's something. It's something that not all of us can really understand though, right? It's like to throw, your loved one under the rug just because of their race. Like,
I mean, we think it's normal because it's 2021, but as someone that, like, I'm from South Africa and I've seen this happen in a lot of families because it's like colorism is a huge thing, where people are like, ooh, what is the color of the baby? Like, like you treat the kid differently because it's a different shade, or the hair is not the color that you wanted, So I've seen that. So I'm like, I'm not surprised, but also they incestuous family. They just marry each other's cousins. Like, hello. Like, of course they white on white on white. You know what I'm saying? It's like white bread with mayo. You know what I mean? It's
they're see-through.
Right? Right? I mean, Megan, now you bring in some color. They're like, whoop, we did not prepare for this.
And she was changing shit up from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the beginning, she was shaking things up, like, what's going on? Oh, it's that colored one, her. Like, imagine, like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, she made a good point too, where she was like, Americans truly just don't understand. Like, when we think we consider the royal family as like just celebrities, we don't get it. And so once you realize, like, again, it's not just this famous person, like when she said like that she actually had to curtsy to the queen, and it's like, yeah, it is Her Majesty. Hello.
But that's knowing who you are, right? I probably after a while get tripped up about it too. Like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of every time I see your mother, I gotta bow. You know, after a while, I'm just saying. After a while, it's gonna get to you.
You got knee issues. Now you can't twerk. You can't get down on the dance floor. All that curtsy.
That's true. I played softball a little longer than I should have, and I do have bad knees. That's true.
Right? We've been married for like 35 years. One day you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, are we ready to answer some fun questions?
Absolutely.
Fun questions.
Yes.
All right, this one's fun, so have fun with it. You're a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be?
Brown. I'm gonna be brown.
Speaking of color.
Titty.
What's the color though? What's the color?
She's gonna be a brown titty.
Titty.
Beige titty.
Beige titty. It's funny you say that because my kids have a book about the crayons and they all have like personalities, and whenever they get to beige, he always like has his head down. And they're like, beige doesn't know where he belongs. And I'm like, yes, you do.
It's a weird word. I think that's why I said it. I mean, I don't think I'm beige. I don't know. Maybe I'm peachy with a little toasted almond in the summer. I don't know.
That's titty.
Titty. That's what I'm saying, My crown would be slightly like round.
Oh, you mean you're gonna get those
edition on the
ones, like super big ones? Those the ones you have to hold your whole
left in the sun for too long,
Yeah. I want to be like black and gold swirl.
Ooh.
I would call mine aggressive unicorn.
Ooh, okay.
I put some thought into this, obviously.
She came prepared. She
had imagery.
Yeah, like you color with it, like both colors come out,
Yeah, I was thinking like a black with glitter in it or something, like some sort of prismatic black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I may take you on this journey. But I don't know what I'd call it.
I mean, Tina, it sounds like you're selling a car there, prismatic black car. This is a prismatic.
I'll think of a name, but prismatic black. We're on the same page, Liz.
Yeah, like something, little edge.
Wavy.
Yeah. What would yours be, Carmen?
I said brown. I mean,
you did, yeah, right away. I'm sorry.
I mean, that was just an add-on to the colorism conversation.
She's the new world order of brown.
I was like brown. I mean,
limited edition.
I mean, do you know how hard it was as a kid? Like back in the, I'm giving away my age, like now, but like back in the 80s, to find a brown crayon that was the same shade as you in a crayon box, like that was difficult. Like you would never find. And I feel like now it's so inclusive. They have all the colors. They have all the skin tone colors, which I think it's amazing. Like it blew my mind when I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It's a whole palette. It's a whole, everyone's here. Everyone's here. Don't worry. It's true. See, that was fun. The most unusual thing you've ever seen in someone else's home.
Ooh.
I'll be honest, when I wrote this, it occurred to me I was stumped because I haven't been in someone's home
in a while.
Okay. So,
yeah, I actually have a joke about this.
Here we go.
I went back to this guy's house and things are going well, and we start kissing, and it's very passionate, and all of a sudden I start violently sneezing.
Oh
God.
And I look up and there was like a cat castle.
No.
like a cat dominion, and like it was like a water slide. Like it was the craziest cat house condo maze thing I'd ever seen in my life. It took up half the living room. And he literally looked at me and was like, "Oh, the cats don't live with me. I live with them."
This is a New York apartment? Is this?
Yeah, Upper East Side.
Wow. That's like the whole apartment. Like he's paying rent for the cats. Like,
seriously.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That was the first and last time I was at his place.
I mean, to piggyback off Rachel's story, I just want to circle back to a story I remember.
Very good.
Not unusual, but I mean, I guess it's unusual. So it was my former boyfriend's place. I mean, we were young. We were like 19, 20, whatever. And we started like, getting, parents aren't home. Let's get in this. Let's get in each other's genre, Get into his room. And he has like those single beds, the small beds, right? And so we in the bed and we're making out. And like at the moment it's there, it's ripe. And as I look up, like I stop for a moment and I look at the bedpost, and on each bedpost there's a picture of white Jesus, the praying white Jesus with the and then the rosaries. And I was like, how? I mean, he was Catholic, so it made sense in a way. But then I was also like, are you planning an exorcism here? Like, are you trying to get me in your bed and exorcise me because I'm a heathen? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. It feels a little bland.
Right? It seemed very calculated the way it happened.
Yeah. Damn. Guys, I'm really racking my brain. I feel like it has to be when I was in college. So I'm like really trying to think about like that time in my life and like off-campus apartments, like what is the most unusual thing? I know that we had this indoor outdoor sort of space. It was like we had a regular outdoor porch for cigarettes, and then we had sort of this like indoor porch. I think they call it like a Florida room, but it was just an unfinished piece of the home that had like asbestos like fully just out. Anyway, let's hope mesothelioma doesn't catch up with your girl. But and we would smoke not cigarettes in there because we didn't want to smoke not cigarettes like out in the world. And I don't know where or how, but we had this like mannequin head, and we named her Angel Stoneface. And we put a wig on her, and like she was gang. Like whenever we'd go in and like sit on the couch, it was just like we'd like make sure she was propped up in like our smoke circle. I think that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a home, and it was my own. I don't know.
Well, imagine during the quarantine, it would have been like your best friend.
I know one of my really good friends, her grandma has a toilet seat made of money. Is that a thing? Do you know? Like,
Pretty weird.
That's pretty weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Like no coins in it.
Oh,
It's
cool.
Interesting.
like acrylic, or it's made out of like acrylic, hard acrylic, and it has like
Wow. I've
coins.
seen like a shield of money at like an Indian wedding, but not a toilet seat.
I mean, I feel like who's getting that in the will, right? Is your friend getting that in the will? Like, if they're gonna get the money toilet seat, like, grandma, this is mine.
Yeah, you guys must know this. Look, it's. Hold on, I can't. Do you see that?
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, and it's
Great.
all coins.
I love the visual. That was so good, Trina.
Wow.
Yeah, this shit is golden, basically golden.
If you just Google money toilet seat, it's there.
You know what? I guess during the will reading, that person's like, I'm right here.
Yeah. I got my student loans to pay off. Please.
I guess that they damn.
Like, I accept.
It's like, wishful thinking. They want to shit money, I guess.
Yeah, they want to shit money, right? Yeah. Money always on the mind. I think I'll piggyback off of the bathroom. I think my weirdest thing I ever saw was a guy I was dating. The first night I went to his apartment, he had toilet paper rolls that were in crochet.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty ethnic. I mean, as an ethnic person, that's pretty on brand. If I went to someone's house,
He was.
yeah. If I went to someone's house, they didn't have the doilies. They called doilies.
Doily, yeah. So yeah, all his toilet paper was doilied out, And,
Yeah.
I walk in, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, you're looking at it. I'm like, I am.
I never thought about it, but I think my grandmother had like a pink poodle
I did too.
toilet paper caddy.
They put the Barbie doll.
Exactly. Yeah, the Barbie doll.
The Barbie on top, and her dress is what went over the toilet paper roll.
Exactly.
God.
What?
Yeah.
That's how you know if you're really white. Like if you go to a person,
Yeah,
and
my
say,
grandmother's white.
you be like, yo, you basic white. You don't have a doily in your bathroom. Like, you have a doily in your toilet? Yo, you white, man. You white. You man white, son. Like
Yeah. Or
So
as I
that's
call
why
it,
seeing that in his apartment was a little warming. I was like, we didn't like him a little bit more.
Hilarious.
you got a doily on your toilet?
yeah, and then, like me?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest. My personal house does not, but my aunt, whose house we pretty much grew up in Yonkers, she had the Barbie doll.
Yeah.
She had the Barbie doll with the pink and white. It was a pink crochet with a white trim. And I remember it was a brown-haired Barbie, and I was like, I appreciate that.
I had to Google it. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Barbie doll has always got me because I remember like going to so many
It's like Rally of the Dolls. It's scary.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's wrong. I don't want that staring at me while I take the shit.
Well, when you're a kid, you wind up
It's behind
playing
you.
with them.
Behind you.
Be funny if it had like a knife or something, like dee 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 dee.
Well, if I have that, yeah,
Looks like it.
something like that just to, switch it up a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
You. Yeah.
Woo.
That's real. They're real.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's keep reminiscing. Your favorite?
Oh, that just one?
No, your favorite.
I got a whole playlist.
TLC creep. There's nothing to think about. If we get into the weeds too much, it's gonna get crazy. You can never choose. So I'm going TLC creep because it put me on the map with music. Period. Like ever.
All right.
I mean, it's Bad Boys Entertainment for me. It's the whole Bad Boys Entertainment, TLC, Def Jam Records, all the 90s. Like that's really like going to any bar right now. These Gen Z kids are listening to that music.
Oh, totally. I mean, all of the 90s hip hop and R&B is so much better than today's music. For some reason, the song that popped in my head was "Come Talk to Me, I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name."
Noticey in the house.
Yeah.
I thought I was so hot in my baggy jeans.
With the shirts and the hair slick.
I feel like Trina and I would have hung out in high school. Just saying.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can see it.
We probably did. What high school did you go to?
I grew up on Long Island, so
Okay.
yeah. But I know we had the same door knockers. I could already tell.
You don't have the Barbie doll though. You need to up your Barbie doll game.
We would have been fighting bitches together. I'd be like, what the fuck are you looking at?
That would have been fucking. Yeah, whatever. 90s were some shit. Remember the crisscross jeans?
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me just paint you guys a real quick picture. I'm so glad you brought that up, Luz. I'm the youngest of 4. It's my sister, the boys, and me. Me and my sister are 14 years apart. So my mom is like, oh, I'll go fuck myself because I never saved my daughter's clothes. There were no hand-me-downs for me, which was awesome because I got new stuff. But my mom made out like a bandit for a couple years because I was wearing my older brother's clothes when it was like the crisscross, the Looney Tunes t-shirt.
Yeah, hoodies. Yeah.
The girls were doing baggy. I was wearing hand-me-downs, and my mom was like, okay.
Yeah. I love that whole phase. I did VIM every weekend. I had my mother go.
Oh my gosh.
I love me man with an open silk shirt. One of those open. The wind needs to blow in. I just love it. I'm just like, baby, oil your body, put that silk shirt on. Let's get this party started. It's happening.
Oh my God.
With the R&B in the background.
Of course, I did a strip tease for my friends to Genuine's Pony.
Oh,
yeah. Pony's a good one.
E&J and Hennessy. Oh God. Things.
It was also strong. Like my favorite song from the 90s is Ice Cube. It Was a Good Day. Yeah, like Snoop Dogg and just all that. Like it was music. Like I gotta be honest, some of the hip hop or the rap even I hear today, like I don't even know what's going on because there's no story. I'm not hearing a story. I'm not hearing like who you are and what, like all the history you would get from songs. Now it's like I don't even know. I heard something like, I don't know, clap that ass, clap it, clap it, clap it. But that's all they kept saying was clap the ass, clap, 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 clap. And I'm like, okay. What's going on with the clapping now? What happens after the clapping? And then they'll talk about something completely different. And the chorus again is clap that ass, clap that ass, clap that ass. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want a song that I know the words to. I want to dance and sing along to the song.
I want to sing along. Yeah.
You
It's
know.
kind of-
Oh, go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
No, it's so funny because sometimes when those songs do come on, because I have this 90s hip hop and R&B Spotify playlist, right? And like I'll know all the words to like all the Biggie and all the Lil Kim, and I'm like, this is kind of inappropriate given our current times. But I still love it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like, I get it wrong.
Misogynistic, but I love it.
Yeah. There's something to like, yeah, it's there
It's
too.
kind of a great meaning to woman. Like I listen to Tupac and I love Tupac, and like it'll be like, it's all about you. Get the hose, and I got your hose. I'm like, yeah, that's really demeaning, but like I don't think he meant it in that way. He meant it in a loving way. He meant it like, yo, you're my friend.
Listen, a
It was
song I
different
listened
back
to.
then. It was different.
Was it? It might have been.
Yeah.
The other day, or like not the other day, the other day 3 years ago, I was listening for the first time since before I had natural pubes. Okay, like I was listening to Funky Cold Medina. And
Oh my God.
It's date rape.
Yep.
It's date rape. And I was like, oh, you know what it was too? It was around the time that Chris Brown or Rick Ross, where it was like some song about like how many drinks does it, or is that Miguel maybe, or something?
Miguel.
It was Miguel. Like how many drinks does it take for you to leave me?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no. But no, Rick Ross has one too. Like
No, and Robin Thicke has one. I see them bloodlines. Like everyone was going wild for it. They're like bloodlines, but it's like that's rapey. Like he's gonna get this girl drunk and maybe rape her.
right.
Like maybe. Like I'm like, that's
You're
not
an animal. You deserve it.
You're right.
It's in your name.
Hey.
Can we do a special shout out of the 90s hip hop and R&B to Spice Girls? Because I feel like 90s without the Spice Girls. If you didn't have the, so you tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I got down with it. I did. Yeah. Got down with it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny too, because I read an article not too long ago in New York about Sporty Spice. And she shared her whole story about like what she was really going through mentally, and the depression and the expectation that was put on them. And I was fascinated by just like to read a story now about someone you grew up with and you idolize and you listen to their songs nonstop. And we had no way, it didn't cross our mind, what is she feeling inside? We just wanted them to show up and perform. And then you read their story when you're X years old and you're like, wow, yeah, me too. Like
Yeah.
Hashtag me too. Yeah.
So I have some fun facts on this. So the number one song for the Billboard 100 in the 90s that went on the longest was One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boy.
I knew that. Yes. Ready? I know.
You get your there's more.
The funniest thing is all the 90s singers look like they were crying in their music video.
They do. I think that's also why some of us we're very theatrical, because that's what we saw. That's what we saw. I'm expressing myself, so you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I'll play it without saying it. This was number 2.
I'm excited.
Wow. Oh, I thought we were at the end.
So good.
I always just admired how she had the jaw quiver when she did her vibrato.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she did. And you were like, oh, here it is. Here it is. Number 3. This is a complete 180. This was number 3.
Wow.
They all have a place in my heart.
Mm-hmm. No, now you can scream that in your room while you drink your parents' whiskey. No, okay, it's fine.
I stole my mom's cigarettes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Exactly. Were they cools? Were they cools?
No. Oh, they
Oh
were
my God,
True
cool.
Blues.
So good.
They were what?
True Blues.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's like white woman menthols.
But not a Virginia Slim.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was my grandmother, Virginia Slims. I used to take hers. Yeah. Virginia
I have
Slims.
a friend to
They're
this
like
day
this
who's down in Florida who smokes Virginia Slims, and she thinks she's smoking less, but she ends up just smoking 2 in a row. I'm like, babe,
Exactly.
just smoke a regular cigarette.
And they were like this.
Oh my God, they're ridiculous. They're so. The True Blue cigarettes. Oh my God, do they even make them anymore? Now I'm curious. They had like, oh yeah, they do. They had like a special filter. Oh my God, so gross. I smoked for a long time. Ugh.
I did too, 10 years. 10 years. I even did Newport for a while. I did Newport. I did Marlboro. I left off with the native, what's it called? Native.
Spirits.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if someone gave me one at some point, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. What have you added to your bucket list?
Oh. Since when?
This year. So this year.
Good question. Good question. Get out of this pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the one you always come back to,
I can't do everything unless we get out of this pandemic.
My mind always goes in the gutter. You know this about me, Luz.
Oh man, mine just did too.
This is a pre-pandemic. I would call it a fantasy more than a bucket list, but I guess it's on the bucket list. I really, at some point, would love to be suspended.
What does that mean?
Missing something.
Where you're
Like in a sexual way? Where
Like a harness?
you're tied up sexually, but you're literally suspended.
Oh, yes. And
It requires a very skillful person, and for a curvy lady like me, some very strong apparatus. That's probably why it's never happened yet. So
I think it's like 150.
Oh, now you put it out
Adam
into
and
the
Eve.
universe. You put it out there.
Yeah.
like if you ever look up the real, I know. All I have to do is go on FetLife and it'll happen in 5 minutes. But I mean, I prefer to do it with someone I actually like. So, either that or I'll just pay someone. I'll just pay a professional.
That sounds it. So is it kind of like a swing?
Well, imagine if so there's all different kinds of ways to be suspended, but imagine like the really intricate, fascinating ones to me are the ones where you're literally almost you're like kind of in midair from like all the ceiling on the floor, and then you're just being, teased and pleasured and tortured in all the ways. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm blushing.
Babe! That sounds good. It does. Something different. That would have been great during the pandemic, I can tell you that.
I know. I don't know if my ceiling is weight bearing.
Well, that was my question. Yeah, so I would imagine this kind of has to be bolted.
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'd be a little nervous if someone was like, yeah, I take it out every now and then. Like, you'd be like, what?
No, I mean, and usually if you see it in like porn, like it's done in like an actual dungeon where like
Yeah.
that's all that room is used for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for the bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get an engineer, an architect. You need to get a building permit. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole
to
thing.
get that.
But the aftermath will be fantastic because you have
Right? Like memory served. Like, yeah, I've looked into those contraptions. They're quite intricate. Like in terms of supporting your weight, you know.
I mean,
Are you looking it up?
some of these images are, I'm not really quite sure which one I would want, but like it could
I would be the worst at finally picking one, I'll say.
you could be like hogtied in midair. This would not be my preference. That looks like it would be painful after a while.
Yeah.
Complaints would start after,
But you know, that's fun. You know, just after a while, you probably lose some circulation. Oh, that's a fun one. Maybe I could get one of those.
Yeah, that's like a swing.
Yeah, it looks like you can fold it up and put it under the bed too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like what we put our we used to put our cameras on. What is that called again?
Tripod.
Tripod. It looks like tripod. You know, let me take this out.
It's on Amazon.
No, but I like that.
Oh, it's only $759.
Well,
Well, now you have to record it and sell the tape.
Yeah.
You got to money back after like
Do a YouTube tutorial. You got to do a opening the box tutorial.
it's a thing.
Got to do a whole review on YouTube, Rachel. We waiting. We waiting.
Wow. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this, actually, now that I look at it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's very acrobatic. Holy crap.
Fun. It was for fun.
It's like standard 2 years of Pilates and yoga, like full time.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. See, that's your little, let's see if this stuff really works. Like the fucking planks. Yeah. Let's see if it actually works. But yeah, bucket list. I don't know. Trina, did you add anything?
Well, I've been, I want to complete a marathon. So I've been training. No, I'm kidding.
As she drinks a Bud Light seltzer. I love it.
I smoke a lot of Newports daily. No, honestly, not like one big thing, just sort of like I think this past year was good in realizing, like, take your fucking PTO. Take your time off. Go do things you want to do with people you want to do it with. So I don't know if it's like a bucket list or lessons learned, but it's like, I want to go. I've never been to Paris. I want to go see the Eiffel Tower. I want to go do that. It's like a fucking 6-hour flight. That's the same as LA. Fucking just go. So I guess sort of like not, being so apprehensive about stupid shit because of scheduling, about a job that doesn't give a fuck about you. So
that's facts.
Sorry to be so positive, but
No,
it actually is.
It's true. We literally had our freedom taken away from us. We were in complete lockdown, and it's like, yeah, you couldn't help but not have those moments where you're like, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I do wish I would have did this or that, or
yeah,
it got to you. I'm kind of in that same boat where I put on my bucket list of really learning the lesson of changing my attitude to gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I've been in a bad mood for decades. I'm not, for decades, and it was like going through the pandemic. It was just also like really realizing it's not that bad. I'm just so programmed to look at it as it's bad. So I'll do that now. Like I'll tell myself, like, are you in a bad mood? Because you're being in an attitude right now, just change it to gratitude. But it's like, it's an everyday thing, so to be able to really accomplish where I can be in gratitude in my life, is on my bucket list, and not getting caught up in the what ifs or the anxiety or the depression, and being more like, you know what, yes, I have depression, yes, I have anxiety, but I'm this, this, and that, and I got this, you know, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lessons learned, babe. Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. And you know what it did? It took a fucking pandemic. It took like the world completely shutting down for me to be like, all right. Like, I can make some changes here. I can make some changes. Okay. Let's move on. What would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? And yes, I have fun facts to this one.
Does it have to be real or made up? Because
anything. Like, what would be the worst buy one, get one? Where you're just like, fuck, do I have to take it? You know?
Okay. To circle back to Rachel's, circle back to before, if we can just like tie this in here before we, you know, before we take it.
That's what we do.
Rachel's, that would be the worst thing, because first of all, I'm not that flexible, and if I get two of it, I mean, like, how flexible do you want me to be? You know, that's the worst thing. Like, I'm so clumsy and not flexible, and I'm a full-figured woman. You know, I'm skinny to the shoulders, but below it's quite, you know, large. You know, I call myself a bliss. So I'm thinking, like, if I'm doing that, worst buy one get one free, especially if I have a partner that's so enthusiastic, which he is. I don't know if I can do it. I just feel like this is too tiring. This is too tiring. I'm too uncomfortable. I did not stretch. This is we're not trying on both of them. We just one, just barely one. Can I just put my foot up with my foot up? Just you know, is that fine? Like,
can I be invested 50%? The worst buy one get one. I have fun facts. Number one was a root canal.
Yeah.
Number two was caskets.
Oh gosh.
I mean, they're really beautiful, though. Have you watched that casket show, that funeral parlor show? I mean, they're beautiful caskets that they make. You know, they haven't cost.
It can make sense financially, you know, like if you're buying like a $5,000, I don't know, a $10,000 one, and they're like, well, you get this one for free. Like, you'd be like, no. Trina, are you okay?
She was like, I'm about to go sleep in my couch.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It could be the alcohol. I'm gone off the Bud Light. I don't. I'm okay. I'm fine. I got those on buy one, get one.
There you go. Number three was colonoscopy. No one wants to buy one, get one.
It's not that bad.
Number four was Trump. Nobody wants a buy one, get one. And these are facts. This is researched numbers.
Focus groups.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, what, you have something to share?
No, I was going to say, like, just everything is food for me. So, like, a very time-sensitive food. I would hate to do something, like, on a buy one, get one, and it's, like, something that's going to expire within a week, or something that, like, doesn't reheat well. Like, some kind of meal from a place that is just, like, you can't put this in the oven. You can't put this in the microwave. It's essentially garbage once you don't eat it in the moment. But I don't know what doesn't reheat well. I don't like pork reheated. Pork chops reheated are like a nightmare.
Rotisserie chicken.
You know, I'll give you a little
Tell me.
tip. Shred it and heat it up in a pan with some olive oil.
Oh.
Or lemon juice. Yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Okay.
It's like crispy. Oh yeah.
That's a woman's show.
Get one free rotisserie. She knows what's up.
Oh yeah.
I like this.
There you go.
You can't go wrong. You gotta shred that chicken, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if I really I'm sure I have. I've come across some, like when you're in the store, yeah, they'll have that on like the stuff that's about to expire. Like I saw a whole Stop and Shop the other day, ladies, had it on Enterman's. It was all buy one, get one free. Yeah. It was all buy one, get one. Could be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Could be dangerous.
Diabetes.
Mad cookies, exactly. You can get 4 boxes. 4 boxes for the price of 2. And those prices were discounted also.
They know what they're doing.
It's like the one that you start walking away when you keep looking back, you know, like you're like, should I?
We're like 10 weeks out from Memorial Day and they're like, put the Entenmann's on sale. And I'm like, fuck.
And how many people probably freeze it too? I don't know. Can you freeze it? I don't know.
Sure, you can freeze anything.
I feel like
That's true.
it'll be a bit soggy, but maybe if you do what Trina said, you'll put
Pour
some
some olive oil.
Just throw it in a pan. Just throw it's fine. We all did it. It's fine. Everybody's fine. We could piggyback off that. That always makes you laugh out loud.
Someone busting their ass.
Ew, Trina, really? I'll remember that.
Yeah, when someone falls down, I mean, as long as they are okay.
Okay.
But someone busting, like slipping. I can watch Home Alone 2, and Marv just sends me to, like, I'm in pieces.
Ice videos are funny. The ice videos.
Yeah.
The black
Yeah.
eyes, they are. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, then you should hang out with me, Trina, because I'm so clumsy. I fall all the time. I don't just fall once. I fall like 3 times in one fall. You're like, how the F is this happening? Did he rewind and go back? Is this stuck on replay? Like, what's happening?
So clumsy. It's ridiculous. Like my husband, when the show was starting, he was like, break a leg. I was like, don't say that. I'll probably walk down the stairs and fucking break my leg. Don't say that. Something that always makes me laugh, I'll be completely raw honest, is when I get to yell at a Westchester mom.
Oh.
Yeah. It brings me a lot of happiness since we've moved out here. It does. You know, it just, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. You know, I had a woman today, you know, she was in one lane and she was coming over to mine, but she wasn't looking. Like she wasn't looking to see that there is a car here, and she was just rolling, you know, just rolling in her Porsche like it was nothing, you know. So I beeped at her, and she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle that I beeped. She couldn't understand why I beeped at her. Like, why did I beep at her, you know? So I rolled my window down. I put half my body out the window, and I just started yelling. I've been waiting like 367 days to like really fucking yell at someone. And I asked myself the question before I launched. I was like, are you right? And I was like, I'm right. I'm right. I beeped at you to get your attention, but you're turning into something else. So if you want to turn this, I'm down. I am down. I was ready.
It must have been in the air today because I finally got my friend's car back that was in the shop for 2 weeks because someone stole the catalytic converter. It's a mess. My friends are actually in South Africa right now. They go every year and they're like, hey, do you want to borrow the car while we're gone? And it's only been a giant pain in the ass. So I pull up and I'm in Astoria and I'm waiting for my friend and I'm in this parking spot. I'm not fully in it, but I'm almost in it, and I have my hazards on. And this woman pulls up and she's like, can I get that spot if you're not using it? And I was like, no, I'm using it. Like I'm waiting for my friend. She's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, well, she's right around the corner, but also I don't have to explain myself to you.
Right.
Like, but then why are you explaining yourself? And I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
14-year-old Rachel would have gotten out of the car and beat her in her face. But 41-year-old Rachel was like, okay, she's crazy. I'm going to let her go.
I don't know. If I was in the backseat, I would be like, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, it took me by surprise too. I felt like you get that like adrenaline rush, and I was like,
yes, exactly. It is something. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, it's so true. You work on the road. You're like, what do I do? Because if I do something, I can get in a lot of trouble no matter what.
No, it's not worth it. It's just,
But it feels so good. So good. Oh my God. Carmen, what always makes you laugh no matter what?
I don't know. I mean, like all of these are so funny. It's just awkward situations. Like it always makes me laugh. It's just awkward situations. I guess, but just to be silly, it's like when people fought like when they want men to in a serious setting.
Oh God, so good.
I'd laugh at it, especially if you know that they like secretly started and you're like, like it's disgusting, and I feel like that makes all like no matter what age you are, like you always gonna laugh at that. It's just always something funny.
My kids, I swear to God, I could be in such a serious moment, like yelling at them, and one of them, like rips one, and I break down and I snort laugh. I'm just like, because it's such perfect time. Like I'm so serious in that moment, and they just like rip one, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I had this guy in my class, and he's a good friend of mine. But when we were in grade school, every time he had to do like a presentation, he would get so nervous that he would fart himself. So everyone would just wait until he starts his presentation, and then you'll just hear him go. And like he'll like push through it because you're like actually no, but like the whole class will be like trying not to laugh, and the teacher will be like, no laughing. We'll be like, let him do his presentation, and you just hear it go, and you'll be like, oh my God. So like I just think it's hilarious. Like
That's so funny that you say that, because I again was listening to 90s hip hop and R&B, shocking, yesterday, and riding the city bike, and Grand Pooba's "Like It" came on, and I never realized he has this lyric that says, "I left them backwards. They thought they farted when they shitted," and I was like, "Oh, Grand Pooba was talking about sharding before like." Because the first time I heard sharded, like that term, was Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That was the first time I heard it as like a thing. And my dad thought it was the funniest thing he had ever heard. Yeah.
Poop chronicles. People love poop stories.
Oh yeah.
True.
I don't know if it's a Jew thing, but my family loves talking about farts and shit.
Yeah.
And,
It's like how was your poop today? How was the bowel movements? Was it good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You should really get in a conversation with that if you're going through something.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, so just like lean up.
Yeah, the lean.
You know what? I was on FaceTime with this guy who like I don't want to say we had like just started dating, like, but it was still fresh enough that I muted the phone to fart. But I guess, some shit is just like muscle memory or subconscious. So when I unmute the phone, he's like, did you just fart? And I'm like, how did he even know I muted it? Like, how the fuck? And I was like, what are you talking about? I fucking leaned. And he was like, are you farting? And I was like, are you crazy? And it was like 100% he was right. But I was just like, are you kidding me?
No, I dropped something.
That's what I said. I was like, no, my sweatpants are like, I gotta like adjust.
You know what I hate, Trina? You know what I hate the worst is when you don't fart and they think you fart. Ever sat on one of those like shiny pates, those fake leather, those faux leather chairs where it's like it's so squeaky, and you sit on it, and it's like everyone thinks you farted, and you're like, no, it's a chair. No one believes you. No one.
Especially when it happens like pre-COVID, like in public, right? And like it's like 75 people looking at you, and you're like, what?
And you like try to recreate it. You're like, you get up and sit down 10 more times.
You can't because the poof is gone. The poof that made the sound is gone when you sat on it.
And no matter what you say, they're not going to believe. Like,
Yeah.
Speaking of people,
I've prepared my mind for this. Luz, I'm prepared for this question. I've been thinking about this.
I'm very taken back by it. I don't understand why the CDC literally made up like a whole what to do if there's a zombie apocalypse. Like,
did they make them?
Yes,
What?
the CDC made one.
You're lying. Serious?
Yes.
What?
Facts. Yes.
Oh, because I was just saying in general, I was preparing that this is a possibility that might happen. I watched the Will Smith movie. I saw what happens with the vaccine.
Yes.
And I tell my fiance, I told him, I said, listen, zombie apocalypse, just leave me. I don't have the legs to run. I can't run.
Yeah,
just
like,
leave
I
me.
mean, what's even happening?
Save yourself and leave me. We in Brooklyn. You know what? We're not going to make it out alive. There's too many guppies here. We're not going to make it out. Just leave me. Let me die.
Oh, that's amazing.
I read it, you know, like I was like, this isn't real. But literally the CDC said, have an emergency plan, identify the plan, have a meeting space, have all your emergency contacts on you.
Oh,
and plan an evacuation. And I'm not kidding, because when zombies are hungry, they won't stop until they get their food. For example, brains, which means you need to get out of town fast. Like, this is legit what they put out there.
Oh, well, it was a smart way for them to get people to the CDC website.
Right.
I'm like, why is nobody talking about this?
Wow.
I made a post and no one touched it. And I'm like, all right, is this
I'm gonna
not
put
real?
Wow. But I'm just like, just leave me. Either kill me, eat my fish. I'm okay. I'm done. I've lived my life. I lived through a pandemic. I lived through 9/11.
So, ladies, if we do a show and the zombies come through the door, we know to leave Carmen.
I will be the distraction. Save yourself.
Throw Carmen and
I don't have the knees and ankles for it. I don't have the knees, ankles, or the will to live. Just leave me.
Well, Trina, you're out.
I'm out.
So as long as they don't bite you, you're okay, right? If they bite you,
Right. They can't bite you. Because once they bite, and it's in the CDC also, it says like if you get bitten, you're infected. You're infected no matter what. Done.
I'm crazy enough that I just looked around my apartment to see what I would grab.
Honestly, even if I got bitten and knew I was infected, I'd probably still do like 2 more open mics before I definitely.
You'd be like, this is my last one. But like,
you were asymptomatic for zombie.
I mean, you can't believe any of these movies as well, these zombie movies. Like, I love zombie movies, and I watch it, and I'm like, do you know how difficult it is to stab a human? Do you know how hard it is to chop a human? I'm not that I know.
The head, I think, right?
Have you ever tried to my grandmother used to buy like a whole lamb and then chop it up, and I would help her. Do you know how difficult it is to just chop a piece of lamb or like through a bone of a steak? You expect to chop off a head of a human? Like that's not possible.
I don't know. If it's a fucking zombie, I'll do what I have to do.
Adrenaline is a motherfucker.
Yeah, adrenaline is a mother. And I feel like I'll be ready. Like, I'm ready for this. I'm fucking ready.
Sharpen those knives.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all the people living in Brooklyn? Like, the zombie apocalypse happens in Brooklyn, and then the only way to save them is to go to Jersey, and all the New Yorkers is like, no, I'm not going to Jersey. No, we are not going to anywhere but Jersey. That's like,
we're gonna ride this out. We're gonna put a lot of metal bats in the trunk. We're good.
Well, I mean, weren't the people? Remember, there was that whole bath salts craze where people were just doing crazy shit.
That's right.
eating arms and like, you know.
What? Eating faces.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well,
a couple years
Florida.
ago in like Bushwick.
But that's crazy. It's like people even knew what could happen, and they still were like, "Yeah, I'm doing bath salts." You know, like, what? Smoke weed, man. Smoke weed. What you
Jesus.
what?
Wow.
Like you're gonna eat yourself.
Ugh.
Oh, and that was pre-pandemic. Like, that was pre-pandemic.
Life was simpler.
Yeah,
Oh.
simple.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to hear about a Florida man eating someone's face in their own driveway.
It's gonna happen, Trina. I think it's
Times were easier.
Oh my God. All right, ladies, this is the last question of the night.
Okay. Oh.
Rachel, take it away.
Well, I fucking hate these questions. I'll be honest. Like,
That's where I put it. I swear that's what
all right. So back in the day, I was a huge fan of Robert Schimmel. May he rest in peace, because he was irreverent and honest and dirty and didn't give a fuck. And so modern day times, I would have to say my favorite is probably Ali Wong. But it's like, I'm not inspired by her. I just like her. You know, like I'm inspired by shit that happens in my life. I'm not like, oh my God, like I read someone's page and I'm so inspired. Like, you know, I think Jessica Kirsten's a badass. Yeah.
Yes, Jessica Kirsten's on my list. Yeah. Same here. Same.
She doesn't give a fuck. I like people that don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
In a good way, you know.
In a good way. Yeah.
Not the right wing, I don't give a fuck people.
I guess it's more like, I think the better question is, I pulled it because I feel like the better question is like, doing what we do, who will we watch? Right? Like, I know for me, I could go through, I can't even tell you how many, through Netflix or HBO or whatever the stream might be. And I have to really be able to be extremely enrolled in you to actually sit there and listen and not pick up my pen and write something down or not be distracted by something. Like a real comedian, I just hold your attention. Like for me, that's George Carlin. George Carlin, he holds me because the things that I think in my mind, like he would just say it. Yeah. And it would be rude and dirty and, you know, inappropriate. But the delivery, like being able to say whatever you want to say in whatever situation you're in. And it's still funny. It's still funny.
Yeah.
In a little bit of a blend of the two things, for the inspiration, to borrow from Rachel, like when I was younger and then present day, it's Carlin and Chappelle for the same reason of each of them, which is I think there are people who are very good at comedy, but I think sometimes, like, and obviously not to say anything about a man who is probably one of the greatest to do it, but it's like, you know, Jerry Seinfeld doesn't really get too particular. We don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about his life. We understand how he sees the world. We understand how he absorbs what our all shared experience, right? So I think even though he is a master at that and what he does, I think when you have people who get as deeply personal and really are talking about some substantive shit, to me, it's, as a kid, it was Carlin, and I knew the difference then. Because same thing, it was like Carlin, Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and, you know, but Carlin stuck out for that reason, the way Chappelle sticks out. But then at the same time, if we're just talking about who can I watch, and it doesn't have to be all that, I think, honestly, John Mulaney is a fucking surgeon. I think John Mulaney is so fucking good, and I could watch him like over and over uninterrupted. The Horse in the Hospital. I don't think there will ever be a better bit. Do you guys know The Horse in the Hospital?
Mm-mm.
No, I know. I think that's where we all like.
Please check it out. Literally, just go on YouTube and type in John Mulaney Horse in the Hospital. It's how he's explaining how we all felt when Trump got elected, and he's like, "There's a horse in the hospital," and like, no, he hasn't done anything catastrophic yet, but there's a horse in the hospital. You should, and I think only he could deliver that bit that way, right?
Yeah.
And then like Joan Rivers, just because obviously, like I'm in New York, half a Jew, and US, and so it's just like she's the god. Sometimes the king is a woman, and enter Joan Rivers. Period. So
Yeah, I think I'm more attracted to delivery. I'm all about the delivery, right? Because anyone could say anything, but it really is the delivery that's I don't know if the word is inspire, but this will hold me, and I want to learn more from you, and I want to know more about you, and I want to watch you, and I want to, it's delivery. It's so important.
Yeah.
God. Carmen, do you have one you'd like to share?
I mean, everyone touched on really good comedians. I think there's a lot of South African comedians I really admire, who are not internationally known as yet, or great writers as well. I like the way people craft joke, but also the authenticness of it, like how honest and true it is. And a lot of times and I've noticed it more in New York, like maybe because there's so many comedians. Some comedians tend to fabricate a lot of the truth, right? And I feel like I really appreciate the comedians that have so much honesty in the joke. I mean, even if it's not making me go, ha, 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 like I really enjoy the story. I really want to hear more about it. It's so honest, it's so pure, it's so raw, But then, all these comedians you guys mentioned are great, I mean, I love the Def Jam comics.
Marathon status. Yeah,
I love like Mark Carrey, all of them that performed in that time. Like, I just don't think you can even come close to it. And like someone that's not really stand-up comedian, that kind of like, I wouldn't say inspired, but like someone that I'd like really, really was such a fan of as a kid was Jim Carrey. Like, amazing performer, amazing sketch artist. I, as a kid, I used to love him. I'd imitate every single like accent. I used to imitate a lot of people and clown. Before I knew what clowning was, I would do that. I became so good at imitating. Like, I'd watch the teacher and imitate the teacher, or and my parents would get called in because I'd imitate them all the time. So I was that kid, but it would be not in a mean way, in a funny way,
And you were imitating what caught you.
Yeah, so like learning,
that's what,
like learning the craft, learning how, like, you're not realizing it as like a 12-year-old, 10-year-old, right? But you like learning the craft, and watching Living Color and stuff like that. Like, really was something that, like, if I could, like, just circle back at an earlier question about like what was to be on my bucket list would be. I mean, I've done sketches before. I've done sketch comedy back in South Africa, but I'd love to continue doing it, like here, like, on platforms and stuff. So that's what I really love, physical comedy, the humor, like the ability to laugh at one another. You know what I mean? Like Russell Peters. Like, I love Russell Peters. I love the accent. Like, some people would be like, oh, he's so hacky. But I'm like, do you know how hard it is to do all those different accents and switch like that? That's not easy. And he does it. It's very hard to do it. It's a skill. It's a gift, And then, like, to go on a more classic type of comedian from Britain, Eddie Izzard. And the joke of his that I love is the Star Wars Death Canteen. which I'm sure a lot of you guys know, the where he's in the death canteen and they have like the guys they're talking about Darth Vader and whatever. So I love him and I love his story, and I also love his like own personal story, like how authentic he is in living his true self and not really being bound by like what society thinks he should be and speak about. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I can go on about this. So I just gave a whole lecture, symposium. Please,
It's great though. It's great. It's like, it's a corny question, but it really can open just like doors when you really start to take apart, like, what does inspire me? Like, we do need that in our own self to see people that are making it at a level that we can relate to them.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's always been my thing. It's like anything, like even in Hollywood, like for actors, right? And actresses, like you hear someone making, you're like, okay, great. But like the ones that you really have, like, you feel like you have something with when you see them make it or them create something like Dave Chappelle did, like during the quarantine. Like when you see that happen, you're just like, thank you. Like, thank you.
It's amazing. I mean, I just want to do a quick shout out if I can. It's because I'm literally I'm writing my dream, right? I'm writing my dream. I'm writing a show. I'm just going for it, and I was inspired by Michaela Cole. I was inspired about her story as an outsider, as someone that's never been in industry, never been in entertainment, never been in the in crowd, who just went and wrote chewing gum from. She has. I will share with you guys. She has a TEDx talk about it.
Phenomenal.
I was so inspired by that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write my own. And I started writing. I actually completed my first draft, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if someone's gonna want to read it. I don't know if someone's gonna want to like produce it. But this is the story, and it's a funny story, and I'm just gonna write it. But Michaela Cole is a special mention because she's done so much, especially as a Black woman in today's world, and having so much set aside her in Britain, like the society as well in Britain. It's not far away from America, but just like understanding like the aesthetics and the life that she lived there. And I find her like she had no bounds when doing that.
Mm-hmm. She's a phenomenal writer and performer.
Yeah.
That's so when she captivates you. Like you want to know about this character and you want to know what's going to happen. And yeah. And this was awesome, ladies. This was awesome. I love that we did focus on a lot of the women. It is fucking National Women's History Month, even though it's every day of every year. But to talk about them, because they have a lot of these women have paved the way for us to be able to do what we do. And that's why with the month of March, I just felt it was important to have all female lineups. Like, we've come a long way and we still have a long, long motherfucking way to go. But to be able to do this tonight with all of you, I thank you. I thank you so much for taking out some time for this. I really do. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Thank you.
No, thank you, babe. Thank you. We're going to pretty much close out with all of you that are watching to know how you can find us. For me, you can find me on Instagram at Lose Michelle Inc. Carmen, Trina, Rachel. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's Oh, I have that too. Here we go.
It's like mirrored really weird.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take that away from the show. That's right. Yeah, have it at the thing.
Wait,
My coloring just fucking balanced out. Look.
oh, your coloring
This. Motherfucker.
weird.
See, and then it goes back to look at that.
Put the pink up.
I don't know what I got to do, but now I know. Whatever. I did it. Thank you so much, lady. Thank you for the ones that listen and share. If you watch it on the replay, let us know. Good night, everybody. Remember the laugh. Good night, ladies.
Good night. Bye.
Please.